Record.
I got some safety tips that you gotta know, and trust me, it's something that you wanna hear.
So honey, sip your lips and enjoy the show before we move into the stratosphere. Yeah.
So won't you buckle your seatbelt, pull it down tight, and keep your foot in that chair until we turn off that light. Turn your electrical devices off as fast as you can. Don't make me ask you again. So tonight, get ready to fly, 'cause we're gonna live it on up in the sky. Virgin America knows all the places you wanna be. Fly away with me, fly away with me, yeah.
For the 0.001% of you who have never operated a seatbelt before, really? I mean, it works like this. Insert the metal end into the buckle until it clicks, and pull on the loose end to tighten, making sure it fits slow and tight across your lap. There you go. To open, lift on the top of the buckle. And remember, seatbelts should be fastened whenever you're seated, just in case of unexpected turbulence or weather conditions. Personal electronic devices should be turned off and properly stowed during taxi, takeoff, and landing. Laptops should be placed inside carry-ons or under the seat, not in seat back pockets or loose on the cushion next to you. Nice try. Your in-flight team or the sign above will determine when electronics may or may not be used during flight.
Yo, 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 now that you're backing your head to the rap scene, now the eyes all glued to the flat screen. It's the cabin pressure stranger. You know that we won't be leaving you hanging. Pull your mask down first, don't worry, oxygen flows. Tighten the straps after placing on your mouth and your nose. If you're traveling with someone, like a child for instance, put your mask on first before you offer assistance.
Now, under your seat, there's a life vest. First class, it's below your center armrest. Remove the couch, tear it open, place it over your head. Are we coming in clear? Did you hear what we said? Pull the white straps and tighten right around your waist. Once off the plane, pull the handles and your vest will inflate. If your vest doesn't feel, honey, no big deal. Blow into the red tube and you got a refill. There's a bright locator light and it's right on your shoulder. Thank you for your attention. This robot block is over.
Just in case we must evacuate, we've got a plan of attack. We've got a plan of attack. 4 and no exits on this airplane.
All I know is
4 exit doors, 2 in the front
and 2 in the back.
Wow, in the unlikely event we need to get you outside, your exit is equipped with an inflatable slide. Only the signs can be used as a flotation device, and if you need to find the exit, you just follow the light.
They're at the base of the seats. They don't
Can you do the mail check it now? I want to be. Can you do the mail check it now?
Let's just remind you, the nearest exit might be behind you. Yeah.
Okay, so this one's important for all you smokers out there. It's never allowed here, so don't you forget.
Don't forget.
Federal law prohibits tampering, destroying, disabling smoke detectors, so don't touch that cigarette. Don't you do it.
All right, it's time for final cabin check. Make sure all carry-on bags are stowed away, tray tables and seats are in their upright and locked positions, and all electronic devices are completely shut off.
For additional safety information, check out the safety cards located in the seat pocket in front of you. Please read and review before we take off. FAA regulations require that all guests comply with the lighted information signs, posted placards, and instruction of the in-flight team.
If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Now enjoy your flight, and as always, thank you for flying Virgin America.
So tonight, get ready to fly. 'Cause we're gonna live it on up in the sky. Virgin America knows all the places you wanna be. Fly away with me, fly away with me tonight. Get ready to fly, 'cause we're gonna live it on up in the sky. Virgin America knows all the places you wanna be. Fly away with me, fly away with me.
All right, let's get started. Good evening to all of you. Let's get started. Please mute your mics. Okay, so let us touch base on where we are with regards to the syllabus. Answer any questions you may have. There are a lot of new people joining us as well, not to worry. In fact, there are students joining us, until like early October as well. Okay, there are students who started and stopped. There are students who are only doing the case study one subject, and the game really starts after the case study comes out. So you have still not got your case study for December 2021. The Walmart case study is for July 2021. You will get your case study towards the 20th of September. You will get your case study towards the 20th of September. Today is the 1st of September. September is a good month because it is a month that I was born in. And when we get your case study, we are going to fall in love with it. So you are 20 days more if you are finishing CDC, CEC without being a lazy bum. Get some good traction and at least get to task 3 on the other 2 subjects if you're doing them. Because once the case study comes out, I need your fullest attention. It's about a 50-page case study. We don't know what the case study is. I also don't know what the case study is. But I might send you some videos to watch. Maybe a few days before the 20th, I might send you some videos to watch. I am not supposed to tell you what the company is. If you get some videos on the group, just keep your mouth shut and watch the videos. Don't ask questions. Anyway, the group is blocked. Don't message me. Don't call me. Just watch the videos. Watch them well. I won't share too many videos, no. So I will share with you some videos 2-3 days before. Just watch those videos. Just watch those videos. But I don't know what the case study is. I don't know what your questions are in your assignment. Your assignment will also be released. And then we will know what the 3 questions are. What are the areas of focus? Now, the beauty about the GMD syllabus is we are covering the syllabus, that is your book. I hope you have printed your book, your course book, right? Please print it. Of course, I have given you a soft copy of my book as well, which you can use for all 3 subjects in level 7, CC, CDC, and GMD, and your masters, and so on and so forth. So please make use of it. So before I start, I want to talk to you a little bit about study discipline. I want to talk to you a little about study discipline. Now, folks, remember, studying is a habit. Let me rephrase. Learning is a habit. Learning is not one-off. You know, when you eat food, you have satisfaction. That's why we eat ice cream, we eat all the gourmet food, because there is satisfaction. Dopamine release to nice feelings when we eat good food. Why? The taste buds in our mouth are sending signals to our brain saying, hey, you are eating something nice. Similarly, there are many pleasures in life. Many pleasures in life. When you work out, it's a pleasure. That's why you feel good after you work. You feel good because there's enzymes really released in your head. You feel good. When you achieve something, you feel good. When you finish a project, you feel good. Therefore, mental stimulation, intellectual stimulation is also one of the greatest ways in which you can have dopamine release, or you can have mental satisfaction, a lot of consonance, happiness. Is a pity that only a few human beings can enjoy it. You are privileged. You are able to enjoy because you are now able to afford it. There are a lot of people who can't afford it. Education. You are able to afford it. Don't throw it away. Always learn something. Stop learning only when you die. Until you die, you should be learning. You should be employing your brains to learn something constantly. So this year I finished 2 qualifications. This year I finished my doctorate and I finished CIMA, both of which have been something that I've been working on for many years, and it has been a personal ambition, personal goal of mine to reach them. So it brings me some happiness. On the last day of my CIMA paper, I did the exam and I enrolled for another qualification next day. So my wife asked me, now almost 10 years we've been married, she's never seen me not study. So she always on learning. So she thought after I finish that and CIMA, I will stop learning because I devote a bit of time. So I always enroll in a course and I tell her, because she will otherwise discourage me because she wants to watch Netflix with me. We do that a lot. We do that a lot, right? We do that quite a lot actually. But still she wants more. But I also need to get my mental stimulation. I need to learn. Without learning, I can't teach. My development is learning, and my joy is adding more knowledge in whatever area. So I went and got myself enrolled into another 3-month qualification. Now I finished that last Friday. And on Friday morning, I enrolled myself in another thing, which is a 1-month challenge. So I found someone to teach me Photoshop in 1 month. So we have 30 classes. I know, which means 1 class a day, right? In 30 classes, learn Photoshop so that I know basics, but I want to be a pro in Photoshop. So then I gave that same person a challenge, Illustrator month of October, InDesign in month of November. By 1st of December, I want to be able to be capable graphic designer on InDesign, because you know why? I have finished my next book. I have 21 chapters in it. I can't sit down with my graphic design. I've been trying to do it, but I don't think I'll be able to do that for many years, perhaps. So what I thought was I'm going to learn InDesign, which is a software that you can draw or do books. So I thought I will learn it. No rocket science, right? I thought I will learn it. I already know a little bit by spending a lot of time with my graphics. So I already know a little bit, but now I want to learn the technicalities, play around with it. I want to start formatting chapter by chapter. At least in 4 or 5 months, if I put my time, I can finish my book. My next book. Nothing's going to stop me. Corona is not going to stop me. Right? And my point I'm trying to drive across to you is, doesn't matter the certificate, doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter the qualification. Learn something. Push your head. Keep your mind occupied. One of the biggest problems I see with this generation is your mind wanders. Constantly learn something, then your mind doesn't wander, then you're occupied. So now you have enrolled for this course. You have to finish this. So you have to watch all the videos, write some short notes, read up a little bit, brush up your marketing knowledge, finish the other assignments, work towards a schedule, work towards a plan. Another important thing that I want to tell you guys is, have a small workstation, study location in your house. a study, basically. You know, I have, this is my study actually. This is my study. And it's a small room. I have my bathroom here. I can see who's coming from some windows here, so I won't get disturbed. So my point is, a study is very important when you're studying. It need not be fancy. When we started studying, we didn't have air conditioning. We had a fan, and I didn't even have a laptop. Right? We had a desktop that also was very slow. No internet, no mobile phone. When I did my CIM, I didn't have mobile phone. I didn't have internet. I only had Windows in a large PC, old PC, desktop, and a fan. If you have a bed beside you, you try and put your study where you don't see a bed because you fall asleep. Get comfortable in your study area. Tell your family, this is my location of studying, learning. Don't disturb me. If I lock the door, don't come and knock on it. Bring some coffee, get comfortable in your study. It's very important that you do that, guys. Because I see many of you are studying on your bed. You're studying in the dining table. I can hear, if I ask you to unmute right now, there will be a lot of people talking. You can't, when the TV, you can see a TV, you can't concentrate. You might say, Louis, we need music to study. Okay, you have music in your study area, but you can't get disturbed if you have to concentrate. The challenge is this. Here's the challenge. Can you sit in one place and wait for 2 hours? You will say, Louis, we do that during class. No, not class. Class, I'm talking, no. Class, I'm talking and you paid for it. So that's a different story. Some of you can't even do that without looking at your phone and checking who messaged you and all that. Some of you can't even do that. I don't blame you. You're part of that generation. I don't blame you. But can you sit down in one place and study something, read something for 2 hours? You can't. You're not disciplined. That's the greatest discipline you can learn. Keep your posterior in one place. Concentrate on something for 2 hours. Your mind. Concentrate on something for 2 hours and say, I am going to do this tonight. That is discipline, self-discipline. That's what the military teaches you. I didn't go to the military, right? But discipline is very important. Discipline your mind. Very, very important. If you don't discipline your mind, in Buddhism, we talk about that. I'm not a Buddhist. Discipline, right? So first get your location right, your study right. Get a bright light. I have a huge light in front of me. Lock all the doors, right? Those days when we were studying in our house, we didn't have a location. So we went to a library to study, 9 to 5. When the library opens, we are there. When the library closes, we go out. That's how we studied. Because there's such a lot of noise in the house. And then finally, we moved into another house, right? And that's when I got a small study area where I was able to study. So don't find excuses. Don't find excuses. So with what you have, improvise, tell your family, now I'm focusing, so please help me, don't disturb me. Now I'm doing this, I'm doing my assignment. And then you have to tell yourself, now I'm reading this, I'm going to sit and watch 5 videos today of the past lectures. I'm going to see whether I understand everything. I'm going to sit and analyze 5 A grade answers before I go to sleep at night and have a bit of a time, Every day, if you can say from 9 to 11 is my time that I spend in my study. 9 to 10, start with that. 9 to 10, study. I am in my study. After work, you come to a wash, eat, have fun, spend time with your family. 9 to 10, I'm in my study. Get into that mode. You know, my daughter is only 2.5. She knows when I'm in my study, she knows not to disturb me. She knows when I come out, she can shout and howl and do everything. But when I'm seated here, no one can shout. because daddy is either working or classes or studying. And I'll tell you, at least once a month, push your limits a little bit, try and do something until the sunrise. I do that. At least 3 times a month, I am in my study until I see the sun in the morning. At my age, it's a damn good feeling that I can still do that. And I feel proud about myself. That's very important for you to feel, proud about yourself. And at this age, many of you don't have the ability to concentrate. It comes by training. Sometimes at about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, so peaceful. There's no one shouting, no noise, no birds chirping, absolute silence. That's the best time that gives you enough time, right? Put a radio station on, I do that. I actually listen to a lot of BBC One. I don't listen to local radio stations because they play all songs. At that time of the night, I still want club music. I want club music. So I listen to BBC One. And they play some cracker music on Friday night and Saturday night, right? No ads, non-stop hits. And I put it slow because I need the music, the beat. So do what you like. And I get a good cup of coffee. About 11 o'clock, I have coffee. And then it takes me until 3, 4 in the morning. And then I know I have another 2 hours before the kids wake up. Sometimes if I'm really sleepy, I go and sleep. But you need to know your health. Don't mess up your health. Don't mess up your health. Of course, after that, you need to go and sleep. Right? So this lockdown period is ideal time. So why am I telling you all this, guys? You see, in life, we always we want things to be perfect. Don't expect things to be perfect. Don't expect anyone to be perfect, anything to be perfect. If you're married, don't expect your spouse to be perfect. If 70%, 80% good, 20%, don't worry. Ignore that. Some of us we are perfection. We want everything to be perfect. So don't try to be a perfectionist. If you in something, in your job, let's say your job, right? 70%, 80% there, 20% problems you have, don't worry about it. Because I find that many of you stop concentrating on your studies because you can't manage the problems you have. Slightest problem, you give up your studies. That's the first thing you give up. Remember, you are studying for yourself. Your job is not for yourself. You're working for a company. One day they will replace you, right? So if you stop studying, then you're not investing in yourself. So don't expect anything to be perfect. Health-wise, there are some challenges. I have some, I'm experiencing sometimes difficult kind of sinus issues, right? Sometimes, different kind, at my age, you have these cholesterol problems and, all the liver problems and all that, right? You keep taking reports and sometimes one is up and one is good and all that. You have to worry about them. But let me tell you, don't let that stop you living life. That never stops me. So look at the positive side. Be positive. If 80% is good, that 20%, don't cry over it. Work around it. You'll never have 100% happiness. Happiness is something from within. You have to be happy. You can't expect anyone out there to be 100% to what you want. It will never happen. Never happen. I have told my wife, I'm sharing all this with you to motivate you because the case study is going to come. I have always told my wife, I can't satisfy you 100% with everything. But if I'm 80% there, please tolerate me. 20% madness I have. So this is my 20% madness. 20% madness is I need to constantly learn something. So she's asking me why you have 3 graphic designers. Why do you want to learn Photoshop? We have 3 graphic designers. Why do you want to learn Photoshop? So now how do I explain to her that I need to learn Photoshop, then learn InDesign, then learn Illustrator, for me to learn InDesign, right? Then InDesign becomes easy. So if I tell her that, then it will be a problem. So I can't tell her that. So I'm like, oh, 1 month course, I'm doing this. All right, okay. How much? 15,000. All right, okay, go ahead. Approved, right? So my point I'm trying to tell you is, you have to constantly learn something, have a proper place to study, and make sure you don't get disheartened, discouraged, and never give up. Also make sure, don't expect everything to be 100% perfect. Be positive. This environment is very negative. Everything that you see is negative. Every news item is negative. Just before I got online now, a news feed, one of my friends have put a white flag on Facebook. I just messaged him when I started class. I don't know who has even passed away, right? I don't know. Every signal that you get from the environment is negative now. Every signal, economically, politically, socially, all the problems we are having. But you have to mentally send positive signals to yourself. Don't get carried away with what's happening. Of course, you have to be aware and be careful, but you have to focus on what you're supposed to do. Because if you don't do that, you will then one day look back and think, when I had the chance to do it, I didn't do it. I am happy I finished CIM in 1.5 years, because when I had the chance to do it, I did it. I didn't have my A levels. I started doing CIM at 16 and a half, immediately after school, only with my O levels. So I didn't do my A levels. I couldn't do well in school. I didn't do well at all in school. Went to a good school, but didn't do well. Didn't study. Until I found marketing. From that point onwards, I have never stopped studying. From that point onwards, I have never stopped studying. And I want to encourage all of you, focus on what you're doing. You will see over a period of time, your transformation comes. Everything will come. All right. Okay. So let's get started today. So I want to now consolidate. Now we are in the month where your assignment and your exams are coming. Your assignment and your case study is coming. So we have to finish your syllabus fast. So today I want to focus on an area. Let's cover market segmentation today. So there is an area on market segmentation in the first chapter. Can we come into that, please? Page number 16, 17, 18, 19. We couldn't do that area. I skipped that area. And so I want to touch on market segmentation. Let's do that now. Right. So I think this is from chapter 1. I told you I skipped some slides. This is from chapter 1. Right. So let's understand what market segmentation is. So there is a definition available on page number 16 right at the top. Now, market segmentation. We learned this actually at a very small age in year 5 in school. But many of us have forgotten how to segment the market. Singular word for market segmentation is what? It is khandane. Khanda kirima or khandane. Right? So market segmentation, basically it is to take a broad market and subdivide the market. So you break up a market into strata or segments. You take a broad market and you break it up into strata or segments. So if you look at the broad market, now let's take the English market, English teaching market. Maybe in the broad market, the market leader might be British Council. Market leader might be British Council. So there was one guy called Sherry Malcolm. This is his poster. This is Sherry Malcolm's poster. Sherry Malcolm put a Aishwarya Rai picture and then wrote a poster. This is actual poster. And he said, I teach English to international schools yana sisunlage ammila sandaha spoken English. This number works, you can call it. I had once student call during class. Hello, Sherry, any answer? Right? So Sherry is real. Probably, I don't know, this might not be his real name, okay? He would have rebranded. He must be some other name, okay? Right? Sherry Malcolm. You can't go with a non-English sounding name, okay? Sherry. So branding. And you just put Aishwarya Rai picture there and said, if you look like this, I'll teach you English. So can you see what he's trying to do? So what is he trying to do? There is a broad market of English. Market leader is British Council. Let's assume, okay, I don't know. But Sherry had said, I'm not bothered about British Council. I am going to segment the market and I am going to identify one segment. That's this segment. International school, if you are a father and you call her, he won't teach you English. Only mothers, he will teach English. Personalized, one-on-one, maybe home visit, I don't know. Right? The point is, he has identified a segment in the market and he would have probably a product. Maybe it might be a 3-month product or 10 modules. I don't know. I'm just assuming. Price. What do you think? Price might be high price. One session might be about 5,000. I don't know. Personalized. Place. What do you think? I'll visit your house and teach you. Or you visit my house. I don't know. Right? Promotion. Can you see he's doing posters? Probably he's doing brochures, one-to-one. Right? So the 4 Ps, he has tailored the 4 Ps to suit this market. And guess who the market leader in this is? The market leader of this segment is Sherry Malcolm. So Sherry is saying, I can't be the market leader in the broad market because I don't have the same resources that British Council has. And I will never. But I have segmented the market and I can offer a tailor-made 4 Ps, which is the marketing mix, and be the market leader here. And to me, I do it with my resources that are available, with my competencies that are available, and I have fair degree of profitability and other benefits are also there. Profits plus others. Right? So you can see market segmentation is a good exercise. It has a lot of benefits. You can attain segment leadership. You can confine your resources and competency to a small captive audience and thereby be the market leader there. So dividing a market into distinctive groups of buyers with different needs and characteristics or behaviors who might require separate products and marketing mixes. So this is the definition of market segmentation. Now that's not going to help you. You won't get a question on the definition of market segmentation. So I'll show you some examples of what you are required to do. Okay, but let's first learn some theory. I will give you some time for question and answers. So the segmentation process involves STP. Segmenting, targeting, positioning. So there are three things that you need to do when you're segmenting the market or subdividing the market. S, T, and P. So when we are talking about the first step, what we mean here is you create a profile. You create a profile. So now our first job is to create a customer profile of who Walmart is targeting. What is your profile? Sometimes digitally, we also call this personas. I'm sure you would have heard this word, personas, right? Then there are other profiling tools available, like the socio-economic classification. So we will do some of this. Family life cycle. The basis of segmentation, right? So there are profiling tools like personas, socio-economic classification, family life cycle, basis of segmentation available for us to profile who our target consumer is. Now, if you come to my book, I have an entire chapter on market segmentation. So can you make a small note to read for homework? Chapter number, I believe it's 4. Chapter number 4 on market segmentation. Here I have in your syllabus given you 4 theories to profile customers. But in my book, I have over 15 theories to profile customers. I can't teach you all that now because I don't have time and it's not in your syllabus. So please read my book. Then after you profile who you want to target, after you profile your market, you then come up with target marketing strategies or targeting strategies. Targeting strategies. There are 3 targeting strategies available: undifferentiated, differentiated, and concentrated. I will explain them. The third step in the segmentation process is positioning. Sthanagata kirima. How do you position your product in the mind of the customer? So there are positioning strategies, perceptual mapping, mental maps. There are a few theories available under positioning. So if you read chapter 4, there is a lot of stuff that you can learn. But I'm going to try and do as many theories as I can today and show you the expectation of the examiner for GMD at the end. Right? Okay, let's start with the family life cycle. Right? Now, this is actually, ignore the pictures there. This was done by one of my students. Right? It was done maybe about 14, 15 years ago. Right? Where I was told, when I was teaching this theory, right, the student sent me an email after that saying, this theory is wrong. You said all human beings will go through this, but one day you will straight away go from this stage, which is the bachelor stage, where I was a bachelor then, You will go from the bachelor stage straight to the solitary survivor. So that's how you look. So in memory of that person, I kept this. But I also thought that might be true. We all think when we are bachelors, this doesn't apply to us. I never wanted to get married, but today I'm happily married with 2 kids. So we don't know what the future holds for us. So my point I'm trying to tell you is all of us will go through this phase, but there can be some who decide to be single. There can be some who decide to be single. So bachelor stage, many of you are probably bachelors now. I'm sure you have a smile on your face. Okay, nice place to be in. I remember, okay, young, single on your own, no financial burden, entertainment car, right? R&B, Sopranos, no? Car, fashion, travel, vacations. You wake up in the morning and decide what you want to do. Wow. Today we'll go to Singapore. Today we'll climb Adams Peak. No? Today we'll go and camp in Yala. You wake up in the morning, right? You don't have anyone to, you don't have any burden, no burden. No one to take care of. You'll only take care of yourself. So with what you earn, you are your own boss. Then all of a sudden, something happens. Newly married. Now things have changed. No kids, financially better off. You start buying pots and pans, household items. I remember when my wife came to my apartment when I was living alone. She came one day and then she wanted to cook when she was my girlfriend, right? And she realized I didn't have a gas. I only had a 4-burner electric oven, which I never cooked on. I have never cooked. I don't cook. So she cut all the vegetables and then asked, don't you have gas? I said, no, I don't have gas. So I realized then that I need to own a gas if I start getting married. You understand what I'm trying to say? Otherwise, I never had a need for a gas, right? So she cut all the vegetables and she said, I can't believe this man doesn't have gas in his house. How do you live? What do you eat? How do you cook? I don't cook, right? So my point is, you can see single bed becomes double bed, right? You start arranging your house a little bit. Romance, you start going to all the romantic places, no, Paris, Venice, all that. Before that, you went to Pattaya. Now you can't go there. Don't even ask your wife, right? Darling, shall we go to Bangkok? No, we have to go. She has a bucket list where she wants to take you, right? And selfies that she wants to take. So all those locations you have to start going now. Italy, etc., etc. Okay. So all of a sudden, doctor's visit tells you that you are expecting. First child under 6. Financially extremely tight, savings low, baby related stuff. This is a baby dominated house. Baby is at the center of everything. Again, you sell your bed, you sell your car, you sell everything, and you buy safer cars, lower beds, or larger beds. You buy, maybe move into a larger house with more rooms. So you do everything. It's a child-dominated house. I remember I'm actually still going through that. I'm still going through that. It's a child-dominated house. Everything you do, you think about your children. Right? So your parents also did the same thing. And one day you're also going to do the same thing. Full nest 1. Full nest 2, youngest child is about 6. In about 3 years' time, I'll be here. Lewie Diasz, right? I'll be here in about 3 years' time. Youngest child is about 6, right? Financially better off, yes. Still child-dominated house. Everything you do, sometimes you change countries also. My kids will enjoy a better future here. So imagine the length we go through. We change our life upside down at this stage for your children. That's why you need to be grateful towards your parents, right? And then full age 3, older children still dependent at home, financial position very high. Financial position very high. So this is actually the UK situation. So sometimes in Sri Lanka, maybe still here, you're still broke. Okay. Empty nest 1, no children at home, head of family still at work. Now you start traveling a little bit, going on cruises, enjoying each other. Some get divorced, they don't know what to do, right? So that is also there. In this theory, the divorces are not taken care of. The single people are not taken care of. Also, the LGBTQ is not here, which is very common in other countries, right? So empty nest 1, empty nest 2. So empty nest 1 is where one person passes on. Empty nest 1 is where your children leave you. And then no children at home, head of family retired, significant cut in income. Solitary survivor is one person passes on. In labor force, income adequate, small accommodation, savings and pensions. Solitary survivor 2, retired, significant cut in income, medical expenses very high. So don't worry, you will also go through the family life cycle. Okay, some of you are already there. Then you have the socio-economic classification. So let's first learn these, and then I will tell you after that how to apply them. So the socio-economic classification, you have SEC A, B, C1, C2. I'm sure you would have heard this terminology before. So this is the UK socio-economic classification. We have a Sri Lankan classification as well. That is in my book. If you want to look at the Sri Lankan classification to understand what is your SEC, you look at my book. So UK upper middle class SEC A amounts to 3%, higher managerial administrative. Middle class B, 14% of the population. Can you see the profile? C1 lower middle, 27, large population. Supervisors, clerical, junior, managerial, administrative professionals. Skilled working C2, 25% of the population. And then you have working class D, 19%. And those at the lowest level of subsistence E, 12%. Pensioners, widows, casual workers. So I'll show you how to use this in the profiling exercise. This is called the socio-economic classification, which is actually the income pyramid, So we usually say mass market, mass affluent market, affluent market, super affluent market. Just give me 1 second. Right. So then we learn the basis of segmentation. Now, this is a pretty important theory, so please pay attention. So in the basis of segmentation, we have 4 B to C bases of segmentation. 4 B to C basis of segmentation. Geographic, demographic, then you put these two together, there is geodemographic, psychographic, and behavior. So you have basis of segmentation. Geographic can be, now let's take this class. When you filled your application, you gave me your data. When you fill the application, you gave me your data. Did you give me your address? Yes. That means I can use all your addresses. There's 240 of you right now. Oh my God, big class, no? 240 of you right now. I can segment this class based on your address geographically. So I can say, let's say you are in my large class now, all 200, all of you are in my large class, okay? Let's say. So I can say, okay, Buddha, everyone from Colombo 1 to 5 come to the first 2 rows. Colombo 6 to 10 come to the 3rd and 4th rows. Colombo 11 to 15, 4th and 6th rows. Immediate suburbs go and sit right at the back. I can segment the class. So I have your address. Actually, I don't need to do that. I can put all your addresses in an Excel sheet and I can ask someone to segment based on your address. So you can subdivide a broad market based on geographic variables, country, province, district. You can use postcode level. You can use continents, right? All these are, Grama Sevaka Kottashas. All these are methods that you can geographically segment your market. Then we have demographic segmentation. What is demographic segmentation? Demographics means personal factors. Another word for demographics is personal factors. So this class, you have filled in an application and given me your personal details. What? Not income. You're not giving me your income. I didn't want that. But you have given me your gender, your marital status. You have given me your age. You have given me your occupation, your previous education. Religion, you have not given me. I don't need that. Race, I don't need that. Nationality, you have given me. So my point is now some of these details I have. With the details I have, I still can segment this entire class demographically. Then there is another theory called geodemographics, where I geographically and demographically segment. So I use geographic variables and demographic variables together. Right? Then you have psychographic variables. Psychography means what? Your hobbies. Your hobbies. What are your preferences? Now, I didn't get that information during the application stage from you. I didn't ask you, what are your hobbies? Those days we used to ask. Those days we used to have a jogging club, a cycling club, we used to have different clubs. Right? Those days. Now there is no point. Now I have not even seen your face. Only you see my face. I have not even seen your face. I don't know how you look here. Right? So psychographics I have not been able to collect. But Facebook is a company that has collected all our psychographics. It has all our likes. Google has much more deeper insights. Hello? Google is the #1 company on the planet that has all our psychographic variables. Demographics they have, geography they have, right? They can even on the GPS spot you. But psychography, they will ask you, with what you search. With what you search, with where you are, they know what your interests are. Credit card companies, where you use the credit card, they will know what you're buying and they will know at which merchant you are at and what your lifestyle is. Are you a gambler? Are you a nightclubber? Are you donating to a charity? They will know all that. So psychographics are very important. What are your preferences? Do you like photography? Do you like pornography? What are your interests? Cooking, sports, social class, all that, right? So to a certain extent, personality too is psychographic variables. So you can't ask psychographic questions are not very easy to capture at an application level. Then we have behavioralistic or behavioral variables. So behavioral variables are markets that are segment based on behavior. Example. This class I can segment based on behavioral variables. Those who did their homework and those who didn't do their homework. Behavioral. Those who joined today and those who did not join today. Those who are going to pass, those who are going to come down. So I can behaviorally segment this class with the data. So behavioral segmentation means purchase occasion, the benefits that you seek when you buy, user status, user rate, loyalty status, customer readiness stage, and your attitude towards the product. So that's the behavioral base of segmentation. Now, shall we apply this to see how you need to segment the market? This is an example not for GMD. I will show you some GMD examples. Forget about the B to B. Let's first finish the B to C. So this is the Zesta brand, which is a tea brand. So this student has segmented the Zesta brand, right? Segmented the Zesta brand geographically, demographically, psychographically, and behaviorally. And on the other side, on the columns, the student has put 3 products: Prince P, King K, and Old Gold. So now you can see the geographic profiling of these customers for product number 1, 2, and 3. Then you see the demographic profiling. Geographically, they are not so different. But demographically, can you see it's targeting a different audience? Then you also can see the SEC here. That's what we learned. SEC B1 and C1 is targeted for Prince P. A and B is targeted for King K. And A, B, and C1 is targeted for Old Gold. Then can you see the family life cycle here? So that is used inside the basis of segmentation. So the principle here is you can use all my 15 tools I have given you in this book. I've given you many tools of profiling. You can use those theories inside the 4 bases of segmentation and show by product who you are targeting, what is their profile in terms of customer segments. Then you have psychographic variables. Can you see? They are very different to each other. And finally, behavioral variables. So this is a student's piece of work which clearly shows the B to C basis of segmentation apply. Here is another example. Geographic, demographic, psychographic, behavioral factors. This is done for toothpaste brands, segment A, fighters, commoners, imperials, ladies. Again, this is not for GMD, but I'm showing you this example. I will show you GMD example later. So you again can geographically profile, demographically profile each segment, So you can even give these names as give these segments a name. No problem. Psychographically profiled, behaviorally profiled. So I hope you now, to do this, you need a little bit of creativity, imagination. Marketers need a little bit of creativity and imagination. If you are doing marketing without creativity and imagination, you can only be an operational marketer. You cannot be a strategic marketer, because strategic marketing involves creativity and imagination. So you need to have a creative bone to profile customers. Now comes B2B basis of segmentation. B2B basis of segmentation. So B2B, now sometimes an organization, I remember when we got the HSBC case study, HSBC UK case study, you had both mentioned in the case study, B2B segments, and there was corporate banking and business banking, which means B2B segments. Then you also have to profile using the B2B basis of segmentation. So B2B has 7 variables. Industry type, benefits that the companies seek when they're buying. So B2B product, what? Caterpillar, heavy equipment. You know, I won't buy Caterpillar to dig my garden, right? The Caterpillar, I won't buy to dig my garden. It's only sold to engineering companies, construction companies. So if you are selling B2B products, these are the B2B basis of segmentation. Purchase potential, company demographics, not individuals demographics, companies demographics. Purchasing approach, situational factors like the size of the order, frequency of the order, urgency of the order, and finally purchasing personal characteristics. Personal characteristics. So how can we use the B2B basis of segmentation? Here's an example by Aiken Spence Hotel, where you can see demographic, operating variables, purchasing approaches, situational factors, and personal characteristics. The factors are used here, and you can see the profiling of B2B target segments. Right? Now, still, I have not shown you how to do it for GMD. I will show you that in the end. Okay, now let's come into targeting. Now targeting involves 3 strategies: undifferentiated marketing, differentiated marketing, concentrated marketing. So undifferentiated marketing is where you offer one product to the entire market. Example, Siddhalepa. Siddhalepa balm. Siddhalepa has only one type of balm, no? Yellow color, smarts like hell. Some people find it smelly, some people find it nice. Been there for many years. Pack sizes are there. But otherwise, Siddhalepa is Siddhalepa. One product to the entire universe. Rub it on your head, rub it in front, rub it at the back, rub it on your legs, rub it on your hands, rub it everywhere. Right? Undifferentiated. What happens when you do undifferentiated marketing? You leave room for someone to come and differentiate, offer different products to different customer segments. That's what Sparsilon did. Sparsilon came and said, I will give you different colors. In fact, I have one here. This one says de-stress. By the way, a student passed his exam and sent me this gift back. Okay, student sent me this. So every now and then I de-stress. Siddhalepa, I can't de-stress. Sparsilon, I can de-stress. So I have a few other roll-ons by Sparsilon. They come in different colors. I'm sure you have seen this. Pretty affordable. They're not too expensive. And they're pretty good as a product. And actually, Sparsilon also has a small bottle like Siddhalepa, glass bottle. And they have so many varieties. For your legs, they have one. For your cracked heels, they have another. For your headache, they have another. For your sinuses, they have another. So they have created really differentiated different products to different segments. And that's why they are successful. That's why they are successful. So when you don't differentiate, you leave room for others to come and offer many products. And then you have concentrated marketing. Another word for concentrated marketing is niche marketing. Please pronounce that properly. Niche marketing. Niche marketing is you focus on one market or a few market segments. Example, Sherry Mango, Chanel, any luxury product, Lamborghini, Rolex. Focus on one market or few market segments. Okay. So you have to select a targeting strategy. Then we come into positioning strategies. Positioning strategies. Under positioning strategies, we have perceptual mapping. So perceptual mapping is where you map all the competitors in the market. You can map the competitors in the market based on any of the two variables, high, low, high, low. And after you map all the competitors, you can identify gaps in the marketplace. What are the gaps in the marketplace? So that is a perceptual map. You take two factors, high and low, perceived value, high and low, and then you start plotting the competitors based on your perception. Then you identify gaps in the marketplace. Then if you want to reposition, if you are this player, if you want to reposition, you say, I want to reposition into this gap. Or you can reposition or relaunch a new product into this gap. Sometimes you can serve multiple segments because of that. You can serve multiple segments because of that. Okay. All right. So I have been talking quite a bit now. Any questions?
Yeah, Louis, I'm not very clear with this perceptual mapping because some part of that slide has gone down, you know. Now on one side you have the vertical is high and the horizontal is quality, right? Perceived value and quality. What's at the bottom?
Okay, so Madison, let's do a perceptual map very quickly.
Yeah.
I'll do one now.
Sure.
Practically.
Can you tell me what is at the bottom, because that has got hidden in the.
Now it's not hidden. Don't worry. I will do one now. Let's do a perceptual map. Okay. Let's do one now. Any other questions? Any other questions? So the owner of a new segment becomes specialized in that small market segment. Not very clear, Kavindu, of your question. You can unmute and ask. Can we select segments on our preference? You mean in real business life or for GMD, or what are you talking? Technically, you can select segments, but then you have to evaluate the segment. There is segment evaluation criteria available. I have it in my book. I have a model to evaluate segments in my book. It's not in your syllabus, right? But the size of the segment, potential of the segment, accessibility of the segment, then actionability of the segment, Those are some theories available to evaluate whether the segment is good or not. Then does your resources and competencies match the segment? No point segment in the market and try to target something that you can't serve, right? So those are ways in which you will evaluate segments, rate and rank segments, and then select one. How do we select the repositioning? So I'll do a perceptual map. Now, is there a metric to, yes, measure perceived value? Yes. Yes. Perceived value can be measured too. Like, I can send out a rating right now. In fact, we are doing it, lecture evaluation this week. And I can send it to you. We are sending it to all of you. Now stage 1 and stage 2 is undertaken. Next week, you will get a rating grid from us, from our office, where you don't need to put your name, where you can evaluate the lecturer perceived value of this lecture. So from 1 to 5, high, medium, or low. So that alone is a metric. That alone is a metric. Metric is a measure. Even love can be measured. How many kisses? How many kisses? Anything can be measured. You know, in this world, anything can be measured. Huh? There's nothing that you can't measure. Everything can be measured. Okay. Whether to what degree you go to measure is a different story, but everything can be measured. Okay. It's a metric. Kiehl's did repositioning or relaunch. Both. You can't distinguish repositioning and relaunch. They did both. Is this similar to strategic group mapping? Strategic group mapping is a L. This is a cross. Two different authors. Strategic group mapping is done for competitive analysis. Perceptual mapping is done for positioning. Do we have to segment only based on tools only, or can we create company specific segments? It's up to you. Use your imagination and creativity. Segmentation is multi-dimensional. It's like a Rubik cube. Segmentation is like you know what a Rubik cube is? A Rubik cube that we turn around to have colors. Segmentation is like that. You can break up the market in so many different ways because there are different groups of customers everywhere, right? Which segmentation tool include yuppies? There is one called Acorn. There is also the generation profiling tool, Gen X, Y, Zen, so on and so forth. Baby boomers, alpha, yuppies, you know, all that. I have it available in my book. Of course, those are not in your syllabus. When a business segment the broad market into small segment and become the leader of the market, does he become specialized in that market? Yes, to a certain extent, yes, correct. So how many segments you want to serve, how many segments you want to be in is a strategic question. Now, when I was in the banking industry, I remember banking industry is owned by different people. Ceylon Bank owns Tikiri, which is the children's savings account. So they are very strong in the children's segment, right? Then you have commercial bank, Bank of Ceylon, HNB, very strong in the corporate and SME segment, very strong, and the rural segment. Then you have some banks very strong in the micro segment. Then you have Sampath Bank very strong in the local, typical sort of traditional Sinhalese kind of, you know, segment. Then you have Amana Bank in the whole segment that targets the Sharia, not Sharia, Sharia banking and all that, right? Then you have the NTBs, the NDBs, the other smaller banks that are strong in the digital, mobile banking and all the other areas. Freebie and credit cards and all the other digital products. So you can see everyone owns a space. So you can own more than one space. Rebranding can be part of repositioning, yes. So can you guys put your questions on the group? I won't answer any questions which are not on the chat because others don't see your question, okay? Because we are a large class. Can we differentiate psychographics based on psychographics and behavioral by psychographics being the actual preference, customers, and behavioral being what is shown to the outside? So again, in segmentation and in marketing, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Rahul, theory we learn theory on these grids and we do it for assignments. But in practical life, segmentation, you use the knowledge of theory, but creativity is endless in practical life. So yes, to answer your question, you can do it. If it works, then fantastic. So Siddhalepa is also successful. Sparsilon is also successful. That's the beauty of it. Right? So there are many models available, methods available. In theory, after you learn theory, you then use your imagination and creativity in real life. I hope I answered your question. Is generation a demographic factor? Yes, can be. But generation, when you say generation is a social factor, but here the question is, there is a generation profiling tool. So you can use demographic as demographic factors. Yes, correct. All right. So shall we do a quick perceptual map? Can you open your notebooks? Can you please open your notebooks? Let's do a quick perceptual map. Let's do a quick perceptual map. Since many of you have not done it. Right? Can you open your notebook and take it down? So you don't need a perceptual map in the final case study, but might help for you to know this perceptual map, right? Perceptual map. So let's draw two perceptual maps, right? Now, the first step in drawing a perceptual map is you need to understand, let's do one for the beverage industry, beverage industry, right? So let's say you are part of the beverage industry. Your company is a part of the beverage industry. So the first step is you understand the players who are the competitors in the beverage industry. So let's take 10 competitors. You can take more, right? Beverage industry will have more. So let's take 10 competitors. So I'm going to put some brands here. Milo, right? I want you to write this. Take it down. Milo, Nescafe, Minute Maid, Red Bull, then you have Coke, then you have, can you help me out with some brands? Okay, then you have milk brand like New Dale milk. Then you have isotonic. Then you have Sunquick. Then you have Lion Beer. And then you have EGB. Now, the first step is for you to understand the players in the industry. The second step is for you to understand what are the critical success factors in the beverage industry. What are the factors that are critical to succeed in the beverage industry? So example, what are the most critical factors? Maybe taste. Taste. It needs to taste good. Price can be critical. Thirst quenching. Does it quench your thirst? Nutritiousness. availability, packaging. All these can be critical success factors. Taste, price, thirst quenching, packaging, availability, nutritiousness, maybe quantity, all can be critical success factors. So what did we do? We understood the players in the industry. Then we understood what are the critical success factors of the industry. Now shall we draw two maps? Let's draw two maps. Let's draw two maps, right? Oops, let me draw two maps. So here's the first map. Here's the second one, right? Now what we do is we actually take two factors. So let's take on one side, we'll take price. On one side, we'll take price. You can take any two factors, high and low. High and low. On the other side, shall we take nutritiousness, high and low. Nutritiousness. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to plot the players in the industry. Example, Milo, moderately priced. Nutritiousness, high or low, fairly sugar, lot of sugar, no? So you might put it somewhere here, number one, Milo. Nescafe, about the same price of Milo. Nutritiousness, little bit nutritious than Milo. Safer than Milo for kids. Minute Maid, price, I think it's higher than Milo. And this thing, I don't know, right? I'm guessing. And nutritiousness higher, so Minute Maid. Now like that, can you put all the brands? Can you quickly put all the brands based on price and nutritiousness, high and low, based on your perception? Based on your perception, can you put all the brands? I am just arbitrarily putting them. Can you put all of them? 5. Can you please plot them? I am arbitrarily putting them. You think can put them. Now whilst you do that, let's also take another two factors. Thirst quenching, high and low, and taste, or let's take thirst quenching and nutritiousness. No, we took nutritiousness here. We took price, thirst quenching, quantity. Let's take quantity, thirst quenching and quantity. Quantity high, low. Now again, you can start plotting. You can take any two critical success factors. I am just arbitrarily plotting it. So now after you do this perceptual map, you now can identify gaps in the marketplace. You now can say there is a gap here. Medium priced, highly nutritious. There's a gap here. Highly nutritious, high priced. There's a gap. There's a gap here also. There are gaps here as well, but they are probably low nutrition, low price. It's not a good proposition, right? So these are good propositions. Winner products, clear gaps in the marketplace. So higher quantity, thirst quenching, right? Moderate. So you can see this whole place is available. Can you see any gaps here? Can we develop any products there? Low quantity, high thirst quenching. Can there be opportunity? Low quantity, but high thirst quenching. I don't know. Can you develop R&D? So you can see there are three maps in this perceptual map. One is the perceptual map where you plot the competitors. Second one was gap analysis. Gap analysis. That's what we did. Third one is repositioning map. Now let's say if you are isotonic, which is a local beverage, isotonic. So let's say you are here. Let's say you are here. Where's number 7? 7. So you want to launch a product to this segment, second product, or you want to launch a product to this segment. So either you can reposition this product, or you can relaunch a new product there, whilst this product is still there. So then repositioning or relaunching map is also available. So Nadison, I hope that's clear. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay.
I had a further doubt.
Yes.
Because now we have all this gap you said. No, so this is, say for example, thirst quenching and low in price. There's a big gap. That's what it means, no?
Yeah. So wherever you have gaps in the marketplace are unoccupied. So when you can even mix these factors. You can take price and thirst quenching and put it, and then you have to plot the competitors and see where the gaps are.
So you can change the variables also. You can say price and
the variables. Exactly. That's the best, because then more gaps will emerge. More gaps will emerge.
So normally, what is a kind of a, is there a thumb rule like how many variables that you can plot?
No, there is no such thing. So the
can,
more you do it, the more gaps you will find, which means those are ideas for new product development and new segments in the market that are unserved.
Okay, so all the critical success, the critical success factors can be mapped. Everything, all those. See, we have put about 5 or 6. We have to do 5 or 6 maps there. Okay,
that's correct.
And then supposing there's a kind of a overlap. For example, now we say that low in thirst quenching and low in price, there's a gap. Now, how do you match this with something else? I mean, for example, if you were to match it with something, how do you do that?
No, so what you do is you identify all the gaps separately. Yeah. You keep changing the variables, identify all the gaps. Let's say after you find 10 gaps in the market, then you select what are the 3 best ideas from all those 10. You know?
Yeah. So this thing was that if supposing thirst quenching is a very critical success factor. I mean, somebody buys a Pepsi, he wants his thirst to be quenched. Yes. But if that is low and the price is also low, where does it fit in? I mean, then it is not it's not in the market at all. It's not. There's no point in positioning anything in that area. That means there's no demand in that area. Isn't that what it means?
So no. So if there are other players there, if there are other players there, that means it's occupied. So
if there's no players, that means it's not a segment worthwhile testing also. Am I right?
Can be. Yeah, but now just because you have a gap in the market doesn't mean that you can plug all the gaps with products. You have to test whether that gap has demand, whether that gap, what is the size of that gap, is that a real gap? Then you can do further research. You understand? You can do further research, but in 2 minutes you can identify a lot of gaps with the perception. But then you give to a research company to qualify the gap. That's a separate exercise. Okay?
Yeah, fine.
All right. So there are many questions coming in, so I think if you can unmute and ask if you have anything critical, If you have anything critical, you can unmute and ask. So I think perceptual mapping is clear. Perceptual mapping is clear. Okay. So right, let's move forward. So I want to have some fun now. This is actually a picture that is used to really understand positioning and perception. So I asked this question, what do you see in this picture? Can you please type? What do you first see in this picture? That's the answer. What did you see in this picture first? Can you please type? Can you please type? What did you first see in this picture? There are two things you can see in the picture. What did you first see in this picture? Don't type both. What did you first see in this picture? What did you first see in this picture? What was the first thing that came into your mind? So this is actually a real test about perception and position. Okay, this is a real test, right? Why do we say that? Because there's interpretation here. If you saw the man playing the horn first, you are really innocent. Okay, you're not corrupted. Your mind is an uncorrupt mind. It's like a child. If you saw the man playing the horn first. If you saw the woman first, that means you're extremely corrupted. Okay, extremely corrupted. That's what it means. Extremely corrupted. Okay. Why? If you have children in your house, go and show them this picture. If they are, of course, under 6 years or whatever it is, and say, darling, what do you see in this picture? You know, they will never see the lady in the picture. They will never see. I've tried it. It's a real psychometric test. You can show this to a child under 6 and say, what do you see in this picture? They will never see the lady in this picture. Why? Their mind is not corrupt. Their mind, they're not socialized enough to see the lady. They see at once the horn, and then they see someone blowing the horn and the man there. They only see that. Uncle, they say. Right? Ethan can't still find the lady. Don't worry, okay? Nothing wrong with you. Right? After, if you show it to about 9 or 10-year-old, they'll see the man first. After that, they'll say, uncle is there. Auntie is also there. They'll say, auntie is also there. That means they are now so slowly starting to get socialized, their mind. Try it. Hafsa, don't worry, okay, if you can't see the lady. Right? So, right, don't worry about it. But there is a woman's face in this. There is a woman's face in this. My point is, you see, perception is vivid. Perception is vivid. Where moment you still can't see it. This is the eye, okay? This is the eye. This is one eye. This is the other eye. Half of a woman's face. Can you now see it? Can you now see it? This is the mouth. This is the nose. There's a woman's face in it. Okay. So my point is, perception is vivid. Positioning is complex. Sometimes we try to position something in the mind of the customer, but he perceives it in a completely different way. That's how complex marketing positioning is. Therefore, positioning is at the heart of marketing. Positioning is an exercise that needs to be done very carefully. Sometimes you can over-position a brand. Sometimes you can under-position a brand. Sometimes your positioning can be doubtful, not credible. So therefore, positioning strategies are available. Again, can you see the old woman and the young woman in this? The question is, did you see the old woman first or the young woman first? That's the question. That's your segment. Did you see the old woman first or the young woman first? So if you don't see the young woman, don't worry. Don't worry. If you don't see the old woman also, don't worry. If you see a man, I'm worried. Right? So my point is, perception is vivid. It all depends on our upbringing, on our socialization. So it's fine. Sometimes when you see an ad, you don't see the message, or you interpret it very differently. Right? Right? So you saw the old woman and the young woman. Don't worry. Both these examples and more in my book, in the market segmentation chapter. Please read it. All these examples are there. All these are there. Right? So when we talk about positioning, we talk about positioning errors. Sometimes we have under-positioned brands. Brand does not have a clear identity. Over-positioned brands, too narrow positioning. Confused positioning, too many claims. Doubtful positioning, not credible. So these are some of the positioning errors available. So if you have a product in your product suite that has a positioning error, it needs to be fixed fast. But positioning is something that you can't fix easily because it's damaged the consumer's mind. You can't go and erase what people are thinking. Example, when I say Sanat Jayasuri, what comes into your mind? Don't type it. Please don't type it. Please don't type it. Because we all have seen his success and we all have seen him in more ways than one. Right? So that we can't delete now. It's there in your head. You can't delete it. But we love him, okay? We like him. We like him. So my point is, after your stimulation has hit your brain on something, positioning is very difficult to alter. Very difficult to alter. Right? Sometimes it might take months, years. Some types of positioning you can't change at all. Now, Sanat Jayasuriya, you can't take that out of all Sri Lankan heads. You can't. I think you know what I'm talking about. Right? You know what I'm talking about. You can't take it out of the head. You will always remember it. So, but the good thing is it positive or is it negative? Or is it, when you look at the aura of positioning, more of positives, few negatives, I think then the brand is fine. Then the brand is fine. You can't have everything positive. Even brand Rolex has some negatives, but it has more positives. Like I told you, 80% plus positives, brand is strong. 20% problems might be there. Don't worry about it. Right? So positioning strategies are available. So I'm going to go through this in the next slide, which is a little detailed, right? Which is a little detailed. So let me go through the positioning process. So I have actually come up with this process. This is from my book. So I think, so don't worry, you don't need to study this as such, but if you read my book, I'm saying you need to understand the competitive landscape before you start positioning. Then you have to audit the current positioning using research. Then you do perceptual maps. You have to choose a branding strategy, brand positioning strategy. You have to own a word in the consumer's mind. Every brand should own a word, like Pizza Hut and Uber owns delivery, or DHL owns delivery. Like Volvo owns safety, right? Like Cambridge College owns CIM, right? You have to own a word in the minds of the customer. Develop a positioning statement and a payoff line, a strap line. So there are theories available on this in my book. You can refer that. Then coming up with a 4 Ps for each target audience, right? Test the new positioning. And finally, you come up with what I call a segment canvas, right? So I will show you what that is. I have done a few segment canvases for case studies. I will show you what that is. But this is one simple theory that you can use. It is called brand mental maps. Mental maps. Now, when you think of Apple, what are the things that are top of mind? What are the things that you recall? So when you recall the Apple brand, you recall all these words in your mind. Maybe you can add to this, okay? Steve Jobs, Tim Cook. There might be other things that come into your mind, iTunes, right? So now the question is, this is called a mental map. When I mention Maitripala Sirisena, what comes into your mind if I ask you to do a mental map? You will tell me 20 things. Question is, out of those 20 things, how many things are positive? How many things are negative? Same thing can happen to Lewie Diasz. If I put my brand name there and I do a survey and I am not in the room and I ask you to go to a board and say, what comes into your mind when I say Lewie Diasz? You will write a lot of positive things, I hope. Some negative things also you might write. I don't know. Right? So the question there is, do the positives outweigh the negatives? If so, your brand is salvageable. Your brand is salvageable. If your negatives outweigh the positives, then you have a problem with your brand. You have a problem with your brand which needs a specialist that requires fixing, right? So look at Rolex. The Rolex brand has a lot of positives. And then a few negatives are also available. So, but that's okay because there are a lot of positives. It outweighs the negatives. So you can fix these. You can fix these negatives. But the first step is to understand what the top of mind recall is. Now, this is called a persona. A persona. So a persona is where you put a picture of your target customer. And then you attempt to demographically, geographically, psychographically try and define this customer. What does the customer like to wear? What does the customer like? Where does the customer like to eat at, dine at? And can you see this is Natasha, lab assistant, and demographically, values, behaviorally, all defined. So these personas are something that we use for digital marketing. Personas are something that we use for digital marketing, right? Where we try and personify who our target customer we are targeting. Because in digital marketing, in Facebook advertising, in Google, especially in Facebook, then in LinkedIn, in Insta, you can go into very granular targeting so that only they see your ad. Now in Facebook, when I run ads, I have a persona for all our products. For CIM, I run a persona which only you see when I advertise. So I put $40 and I run it for 5 days. It only shows the demographic profile that I have selected. So I select people who with degree holders, people with MBAs, people who have marketing profession. So Facebook only shows my ad to them. Only shows my ad to them. Therefore, I don't waste my money on others who are not. Agriculture, engineering, they don't see my ad. People with business and marketing only see my ad. And it's pay per click if it's on Google. So if you want to click on that, I get charged. So it's very efficient. I can check my metrics and I can see my ROI immediately. So I think you all know this. Digital marketing, you can target very precisely. So now I have 11 products. I have a doctorate. We offer a doctorate. We offer a master's. We offer 4 specializations in executive MSCs. We have CIM, CMI, a degree top-up. Now, all these audiences have different personas. All these audiences have different personas. So if a new staff member, salesperson joins our organization, we will take that customer through the persona and say, if you're advertising for degree top-up, we have given you a budget, then use this persona. If you are advertising for doctorate, then use this persona. Don't mix it because you will waste a lot of money. Imagine a person who's looking for in the degree market a doctoral top-up. Waste of money. Same with the other way. You market a degree top-up to a doctoral candidate. No point, right? So personas are very, very important. So there are 4 positioning strategies available: image repositioning, market repositioning, product repositioning, and total repositioning, right? So image repositioning is, so you have your product attributes unchanged, target market is also unchanged. You only alter the image. Image, how, what do you mean by image? Image is how people see you. Identity is what you send out. Image is how people see you. So you alter how people see you. You need advertising agency for that. You alter how people see you, right? So product attributes are unchanged, target market is unchanged, but you alter the image with a nice campaign. Maybe you select a very luxurious kind of campaign. You can see Sparsilon, when they advertise, they have very glamour, glitz and glamour. Their ads are very, very international like, right? So they are building their image. They are saying we are not competing with Siddha Labor. We are competing with L'Oreal, with Chanel, with Dior. We are competing there. That's where we are competing, because you see that aura in their ads. Okay. So then you have product reposition. Product attributes are unchanged. Target market is unchanged. Sorry, product attributes are changed. Target market is unchanged. Target market is the same, but you change the product attributes slightly. Like when Apple comes up every year, they come up with a few products. So that's called product repositioning. Same target audience, but product features are changed. Then you have market repositioning. Product attributes are unchanged. Target market is changed. So you sell it to a new market. You sell it to a new market, right? And then you have total reposition. That means you change your product attributes and you change your target audience also. Okay. So positioning is a scientific exercise. Now I told you I will show you what a segment canvas is. Now here are A grade answers of students, most of which are using my work that I've given them. Right. This is for the L'Oreal case study, which was an interesting case study. The L'Oreal case study. The L'Oreal case study. Now, when you read the case study, okay, in the case study, guys, sometimes the information you really don't get it, geographic information, demographic, psychographic, you don't get information. Now, some of you read the case study and say, sir, segmentation is tough. I don't know how to do segment. Geographically, I didn't see anything they mentioned about the customer. Then what do we write? Because you can't use outside information. You have to only use case information. So demographics are not mentioned. So now that's why I told you there's a little bit of creativity involved. So what you do is you assimilate the case information. Of course, I will also help you. And then we first start, you can use age and segment the market, right? So in this example, we have used age as the dominant factor, right? Mature women 55 plus, younger women, and of course, men, gender, right? L'Oreal is a female-based product, but they have L'Oreal men as well. So then we name the segment. Then we have case material that gives us some numbers about each of these segments, characteristics of the segment. Then the product mix for each segment. Then the promotional mix mentioned in the case study. And then you have a positioning statement for each product and an overall positioning statement. So I call this the segment canvas. When you don't have geographic, demographic, psychographic, behavioral data, with whatever data you have, you improvise and you make a segment canvas. Now, in this case study, this was the HSBC case study. In the HSBC case study, there was B2B and B2C data. So this is a student's work. Some level of demographics were available. So we used that and we used the product names, the age categories that they target. Then we use the products that are targeted for each of those segments. Benefits are offered. I told you a little bit of creativity is required, and the segment positioning and overall positioning. So with this, you can draw a lot of strategic inferences. So again, this is the DHL segmentation grid. This one is also for DHL. Two DHL A-grade answers. By the way, all these A-grade answers are on the portal under A-grade answers for you to refer. Okay. How many do you want to refer? There are over 100 there. There are more that I have not put because you might get, too much also is a problem, right? So here's another segmentation grid. This is done by the different types of segments: quality seekers, variety seekers, value seekers. So we need to read the case study to see what information is available. You can't really use outside information. Within the information that you have in your 50 pages, you have to creatively segment the market. Okay. Here's another one. This is for Toyota. So you have luxury customers, affluent income shoppers, lower middle income shoppers, and then the budget shoppers. And then the products that are mentioned in the case study, and demographically some information is there, psychographics and behavioral factors. This is again another example for HSBC. So I help you with all this. When the case study comes, we have 20 days more until that happens. Again, 2 examples for HSBC. So many examples are available. Please take some time and go through this. I have taken screenshots of all examples of A-grade answers. All right, any questions? So I'm going to stop our class here, but do you have?
Sir,
yes.
Sir, if we going to target a market or segment a market, then they can become market leaders, like in example of that Sparsilon case. Sparsilon can be the market leaders one day.
I don't understand your question, Buddha. Can you repeat it, please?
So like we are targeting on separate market, right?
So it's like this. You can segment the market and then say, like in that Sherry Malcolm overall English market, you can segment and say there are 40 segments available. And then you can choose maybe 2 or 3. You don't need to be like Siddhalepa. You can operate in 2 or 3 segments, or you can operate in 10 segments. It's up to you.
Okay.
Do you have the resources? So it's not that you target only one segment. So can you see this company right now? It's targeting the mass market, mass affluent market, and the affluent market. It has products for all 3 segments. But profiling is different. So in the case of HSBC, if I show you this one, they are targeting not only the premier is one segment, advanced is one segment, emerging is another segment. Then that is B2B, B2C, B2B also, they have 3 segments. So you can be present in so many segments, but they are not in micro segment, as you can see. Micro is smaller than SME. They are not in that. They are clearly not in that segment. So you can select more than one segment to target. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
Sorry. Yeah, no, this customer segmentation which you did has always got to be demographics, products. What did we put?
Geography,
psychographics, demographics, geography. Yes. But here I find the A-grade answers, there are lots of different things. Like, for example, there is the market segment. This one talks about demographic, then a product mix. Is it all? Is it okay to?
Listen, I think I addressed that before. I think you would have missed it. What I said was,
yeah.
In the theory, those are available.
Okay.
But when you read the case study, you won't get direct information saying demographics, here's what it is, geographics, here's what it is. You don't get information like that.
Okay, okay.
So you take information that are available in the case study, play around with what you have, and then improvise using this segment grid. So if you don't have information, then obviously you can't use it. So if you don't have psychographics, don't use it. Use demographics and geographics.
Okay.
Right? Sometimes there is nothing mentioned about the customer. Still, I will help you there. Don't worry.
Right.
I will then show you. I will show you 1 or 2 lines in the case study and say, that indicates they're targeting this gray marker. Right? We can make that assumption and we can move on.
Okay.
Remember the case study. It's the brief the client has given you. Who are you? You're the marketing consultant.
Okay.
You are the marketing consultant. You are supposed to do task 1, task 2, and task 3. The client has given you a brief saying, here's 50 pages about my company. Now the client doesn't know marketing. No, client is the owner of the company. So client won't say demographically this, geographically this. And in real life, when we go into real marketing, sometimes although we learn theory, we can't apply the same theory 100% in the same way because we have limited information. In real life also is the case. So we have to start somewhere and improvise and make assumptions, estimates, and then move forward.
So where does this this particular model come? This target market and product attributes. Where does that come? I mean, how do you, once you find out what you have to do?
You read the case and then you see how many segments the company is targeting. Now, in this case, in this L'Oreal example, we saw information about mature women, younger women, and men. Products data is available in the case study. So we drew a grid there, named the segments, and we put this in the 6-page audit saying these segments are available. These segments are available.
Okay. So this target market and product attribute, what is it called? What is that model called?
Target market and product attributes.
Which we just did. This unchanged, image.
That one.
Yeah.
This one is called repositioning strategies. It is in your book. Repositioning strategies.
The earlier one which you did, that Natasha thing, what is that?
That's called a persona.
Oh, that's just the persona. So this also sometimes has got to be done. We have to also do the persona.
No, you don't need to do a persona for GMD. You don't need to do a persona for GMD. If you do the segment grid, it's more than enough.
Okay. Now, in marketing, why do you need a persona for a type of customers, or is it like individual? How do you do that?
I think I explained it. I said I have 11 products at Cambridge College. For every product, I have a separate persona.
Okay. Yes. You did that. Yes. You told me that.
Yes.
Can you just give an example for image repositioning? When everything remains unchanged, the product attributes remain unchanged, the target market remains unchanged, then you said you need to do a image repositioning.
Yeah. So sometimes you alter the image of the product. Let's say you will say, are you in Sri Lanka or are you familiar with Sri Lanka?
Yeah, I'm familiar. You can tell me.
Right. Now, if you look at Kottumi, right? Or let's take another example. Let's take a company like what hotel that was rebranded, Dhammika Perra's hotel, I forget its name, that you find in Golface. What's it called?
Kingsbury. Yeah?
Kingsbury, right? Yeah. Now, Kingsbury was refurbished. Formerly, Kingsbury was Intercontinental Hotel, right? When it was that, then Dhammika Perra bought it, and then he refurbished it and he called it the Kingsbury. And then they put a rooftop bar and they refurbished the room, changed the layouts, took all the tiles out, made the coffee area, made the. So now with that change of name, with that change of interior, they have said our prices have gone up. Now we are competing in the 5-star category. We're not a 4-star. We are competing instead of Hilton. So they altered their image. Their product was the same, right? But they did a little bit of upgrading. But target market also is fairly, in that sense, unchanged, but image was positioned. Image repositioning was done. So you now say, when you say image, what it means is how you perceive me. How you perceive me. So now now let's take Cambridge College. If Cambridge College goes out tomorrow, right now, you might have a perception about Cambridge College. Let's say in your mind, you think Cambridge College is a good entity, nice place to study, good lecturers, all that. But what if tomorrow Cambridge College goes and buys 5 ventilators and give it to some hospitals in rural areas? Actually, I'm thinking about doing it, right? So I'm doing my research now. And we go and buy 5 ventilators in rural areas or hospitals that we don't have. And we tell our students, we are going to match every rupee that you put. All of you put some money. We will also put some money and buy ventilators. And we will ask the students, virtually we will go there and put those ventilators in those hospitals. Now, all of a sudden, you feel that this is a great place to learn. But at the same time, your love for our organization, they're a responsible organization. Look at what they're trying to do. They're trying to contribute something in the small way possible. So it's beyond only learning. You now have a different image about Cambridge College. They are not only teaching you, they are also being socially responsible. So the product attributes have not changed. The target market has not changed. But I have done a little bit of CSR to change how people think of me. So there are many things that you can do like that to change how people see you.
So then that means image repositioning and corporate reputation is a similar concept.
Exactly. So corporate reputation is my next slide actually. We will do that, not today. So corporate reputation is my next slide. So can you see your person, you have 3 factors in corporate reputation. Corporate reputation is a function of your identity. What is your identity? Identity is what you communicate. Inside, out. What you communicate. Image is how people see you. Outside, in. How people see you. Personality is your character, your traits, your values. So all of us have character or personality. We have values, we have traits through socialization, through the schools, through our parents, through our teachers. We have a personality, type A or type B, whatever it can be called. We have a character, we have a personality. So your personality plus your identity that you project to others, and what others see you when they see you, image, equals corporate reputation. So image is only one part. You have to fix these 2 also. Okay? Is that clear?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Hi, Dr. Lewie.
Yes.
Rumi here. I need a small brief of how the GMD examination takes place. Like, for example, now we need to do the 6-page audit. When is the line for that, and when is the assignment submission? Just a small brief of when we will be getting the case study.
There is no exam. There is no exam for GMD this time. There is discussion that next time will be an online exam. There is a discussion like that because it used to be an exam before COVID, but because we can't put you in an exam hall, they have converted into a assignment. So you can see last time's assignment. So This time you will have an assignment which will have 3 tasks, which will be released on the 20th of September. It is still not out. With the assignment comes a case study, 50 pages. We don't know what the company is. 20th, we will find out. So after you get it, we have 2 months. You and I have 2 months to read the 50 pages. First step we do is we have to finish the 6-page strategic audit, which means we have to, with all the tools we learn, read the case study. And for 6 pages, putting all these tools, arranging all these tools, pestle analysis, SWOT analysis, Porter's 5 Horses, BCG matrix, all these tools based on the case material. If it has something related to reputation, we can do this theory. Branding, we have to do branding theory. So it depends on what is included in the case study. We don't know, right? So after we finish the 6-page case study, we then start on task 1. I will give you a guide on that. And then you start writing task 1. Then you do task 2. And then we do task 3. And then you submit your assignment. You take a Turnitin report before you submit it. We have an in-house Turnitin report facility. Check your plagiarism plus percentage, and you submit your assignment in the last week of November. And then you wait until first week of February to get your results.
Thank you. Thank you. That's the insight I wanted. Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions? All right. So if you do have any further questions, there's so many chats, please WhatsApp me. So thank you very much. So remember what I said in the start. Discipline yourself to sit in one place. You are learning for yourself, not for anyone else. Have all the resources, have a proper study, proper place to study. Make everything good in that place. Nice, powerful light. Water dispenser, a lot of water, very important. Hydration. And enjoy that space. This is my study space. I really enjoy it. It's my favorite place in the house. It's my favorite. My wife, of course, enjoys the bed, not for anything else, because she likes sleeping, right? She's like sleeping, cuddling the kids and sleeping. I also really enjoy that. But to me, I sleep sometimes when they are up, because I can only work when they are sleeping. So enjoy your study. Enjoy your study. If you enjoy your location of study, and then you condition your mind, you train your mind. Now I'm seated in this location. It's like your work. When you go to work, you have a workstation, right? When you go and sit in your seat, you know now you can't check your Facebook. You know now you have to work. Isn't that right? So you are programmed 9 to 5. You have to work now. You can't play some game. You have to work. You have to add value to the company. Similarly, when you sit in your study, you are adding value to yourself. You can't sit and think about what's going on in the news. What is this person posted? Those shouldn't bother you. So discipline yourself. Your generation, biggest problem is mental discipline, physical discipline, sitting in one place without running to the fridge, without checking your phone, without going to the bathroom. You can't sit in one place and wait. Your mind wanders and you want to start walking. So discipline yourself. You can achieve so much in life. Thank you. I'll see you. This time we are going to see you on Friday again. I need to have another class with you on Friday at 7 p.m. So I'll see you at 7 p.m. on Friday. Don't miss it, because we have to cover the syllabus. Friday, we are going to do chapter 6, risk management. Get ready with the slides. With that, I will be finished four chapters out of the 6 chapters. So we're going to do that on Friday. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, guys. Good night.